Alright, here I got these iJDMTOY fog lights, rear fog lights, which I'm not really sure why it's called rear fog light. It's kind of weird. Alright, so this is what it comes with. This is the iJDMTOY LED rear fog / brake light, and this is the one that does the it does the three blinks when it turns on, when you hit the brake. So it does like it's called the F1 style. No instructions, but a link here for installation. I can scan this QR code, or it includes a link there. Probably check that out on my phone. It couldn't be that hard, but I mean, I've seen videos of people doing this, and although it doesn't seem super hard, it doesn't seem super intuitive either. I also bought these taps. I saw someone using these taps, and they seemed legit, so I scooped these up. I'll post links to all this stuff. Other websites like Subispeed. You got this on Amazon for $100. See them on Subispeed for more, for 120, 130, 140. I don't know what it is. You can research it yourself, but this was the cheapest price for this one that I found. This is red LED. It does the F1 style flashing. It included the bracket that you need to put it in the factory location. Okay. I just Googled it and found their instructions. Alright, I don't have ramps, and I'm too lazy to fully jack up the car to do this. I don't feel like it's going to be necessary. So that's one of the questions that we'll be answering, is whether or not you actually need to jack up the car. If I'm successful, then you will know the answer to that is no. If I'm not, then you'll know the answer is yes. So I'm going to remove these two factory clips, one there, so I can gain access. Alright, first minor problem, not really a problem, but this clip, the one on the, I guess the passenger side here, was a biatch to get out. I had to pry at it and screw with it. I mean, I got it out eventually, but it was a bitch, so there's your first problem. Might be hard to get the clips out. Just keep at it. Don't break them, because then you'll be running to Subaru or wherever to try to replace it. And I think I just got it started, and I'm going to be able to get it out. But yep, it's out. So I'll tell you exactly what you need to do, so it's not as difficult for someone else doing this. But you got to, there's these two clips on the top. Looking at it this way. So these two clips on the top, just pull these down with your finger from the inside. So it'll be like that. Just pull at these down and then push up, and it'll fall out. And then from there, there's these two little clips that secured on the bottom. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And trying to figure out how it goes in here.
Same thing. This one doesn't have a bracket on the back, however, so you have to be a little bit creative when you are fastening.
Alright, booyah.
So first thing I'm going to...
Alright, I think I got the bracket in, and I'm going to do my best to show you how I did it. So the bracket, first off, just goes inside there. You can do it from the outside. You don't need to go under the car or anything to do it. There's two clips on it, and they're not great lighting here, so I'm going to do my best to help you. So those two clips that came with, I used the smaller one over here on the passenger side. There's a hole on the factory bumper, and I just popped that through. It's the same style of clips as the ones that holds the stock diffuser on. So one on one side, the other on the other side, and it's actually surprisingly secure. Like it's not going anywhere. I mean, it pivots up and down just because there's two clips on opposite sides, but the little part of the bracket on the bottom holds it on. Alright, and I got a ton of stuff in my trunk, so that's probably something you don't want to do or have, is a bunch of crap in your trunk. Alright, I think I just scored because after I got the monsters out of the way, I think I realized that I don't actually need to remove everything from the trunk. Because to get this piece out, there's 3 clips, and I'll show you where they are. Pretty simple. There's the 3 clips, and there's 1, 2, 3. Just goes in like that. It's pretty easy to take off. One of these rubber grommets is the one that we push through. So either this one or this one. I'll refer to my Ninja, and we'll see what he did, and then I'll copycat him. So 1 second.
This will go into the bottom, and it just like that. So now you've got, you've pushed the rubber grommet.
All right. Well, thank you for that. From what I can tell, I couldn't really tell which grommet you were removing, but I have a feeling it was the one on this side. So this is the one on the driver's side. So I'm gonna try to. It looks like there's 2 of them. One on the passenger side, and one on the driver's side. So I'm gonna try pushing this through, and hopefully it'll go somewhere where I can get it. All right, it just disappeared, and I'll try to find it. Okay, one thing I just realized is there's actually 2 more clips on the inside of the factory diffuser. That's right here. And I assume there's another one on the other side somewhere. But this is the one you really need to move. So this is going to be on the driver's side. Alright, I'm not even joking. I've been looking for that grommet for like the last, like at least 20-30 minutes. I do not understand where it could have gone, and I'm pretty pissed off. Alright, found the grommet. It's right here. I'll tell you where it was. The grommet comes out, and it's really hard to get an angle here. But the grommet comes out right over here, which is on the driver's side of the car. It was all the way over here, under here. So somehow it went, like it traveled like a foot. It started rolling in the diffuser, and it was all the way over here on this other side. I mean, like, seriously. Wow. Wow. Alright, after grommet gate, I'm really not feeling like going inside and grabbing my drill, so I'm going to just try to poke this grommet with a screwdriver and make a hole big enough to get the wires through it, because I really don't feel like making this take a moment longer than it needs to. Alright, just use the screwdriver to poke the hole through. I don't know if it's big enough for the wires, but I think it will be. So I'm going to now just route the wires through this grommet and install the light, get the grommet back up there. You have to reinstall the grommet from the outside, which isn't too hard providing you have the grommet. So I'm going to do this and we'll be right back. Alrighty, got the wires through the grommet here. I'm going to make sure I got the right orientation. So it's going to go, the wires facing down. I'm going to get this in there. Okay, and I just discovered this actually needs to come out, this little thing here, so you can actually put it in the car, because otherwise this sticks out too much to attach it. So I unhooked that. I'm going to get the light in. Oh, look at that. That looks like progress. So from here I'm going to push that little thing back into the light. Might have to screw it in first. So now we're going to go back to these 2 screws that it came with on the bracket and screw them into the back of the light. Alright, since I'm finding the easiest way to do things so you don't have to, actually, I just found that there's just not enough movement in this thing to get it out, so I'm gonna have to take out the other clip. So a lot of a few steps would have been easier if I would have just taken out all 4 clips from the beginning. I didn't. I was trying to do the minimum and ended up wasting time, and it's gonna come out anyway. So just when you start, take out all the clips. Just do yourself a favor, take them all out. All right, just showing a quick comparison of the movement you get when all 4 clips are out. This thing now moves like really easy. This would have made it even easier to find that missing grommet. So there you go. All right, got the 2 screws in the back. I just finger tightened them because, I mean, this thing's not going anywhere. The bracket's in there really good, and even without the screws, it's in there like it's not going to fall out. It fits in there perfect. So now I got the wires into the trunk, got the light installed, and it looks really good, by the way. I'm gonna work on the wiring portion. Okay, and so to do this part, there's actually 3 clips, and I will show you where they all are. Okay, so there's one that's right by the hinge in the front, and that is right there. It's a little hole for it. Then there's one on the bottom, which is underneath kind of everything. I'm not gonna go through all the trouble of showing exactly where, but it's kind of underneath in that general area. And there's one up top right there. So they're all pretty easy. So I got access to my wires, and I'm gonna splice in. Alright, just wanted to make a quick shot of how these little connectors that I have work. They're actually quite nice. There's 2 sections. The bottom section is where your wire you want to add goes. So this is the wire from the fog light. You push it through the little screw part like that. Then you just kind of shove it into this guy, and there's like a little spot where it goes. And then from there you just screw it in. And then for the other part where you're going to tap it into the car's harness itself, you remove this top piece, and then here there's a little slit in there, and you put the existing wire, and then you just screw it in. And I'm not sure if it'll focus well on it, but there's a little point here, like a little sharp point that actually cuts into the wire, and actually seems to work pretty easily. I would definitely recommend getting these, especially if you don't like wiring. I mean, with this there's no splicing. I didn't need to cut anything. The only thing I needed to cut was the tape around the factory harness, which I will try to show here. I had to cut the tape back here, but other than that, I didn't cut any of these wires. How much they came stripped from the factory, the way from this light, its manufacturer, it was perfect. So I'm tapping the red into the black and white, the black into the black, and this yellow to activate the brake light is going to go into the brown. And again, a big thanks to Ninja for that, because I would have had to look it up or test light it or whatever, so that was helpful. So now I'm just gonna add this last wire, and then we'll test it out. Alright, got everything on and tight. Now I'm gonna plug the factory harness back in, and then we'll test them out. And if it works, then we will just button everything else back up and route these wires nicely and get the grommet hooked up, and we'll go outside and see how it looks. So let me just turn on the running lights real quick, and I see some light, so it looks like it's working. I can tell that worked. So let me clean everything up. If I run into any snags, routing the wires in and getting that grommet installed, I'll let you know. But other than that, I think it's just going to be a reverse of removing everything. Oh, look, what do we got here? Is that an F1 car? Look at that third brake light. Looks like an F1 car to me. Alright, I'll hit the brakes a couple times. You can see what it looks like.